the screen, you can see that we rely heavily on Google Documents, which is great for combining different sets of documentation, merging together, and you can see who's editing something at a given time. We also rely heavily on SMS, text messages, to get to another person on the team as quickly as possible. This is just this is about a third or a quarter of the functional requirements that we had for the app. So you can see that as we were planning the app, we wrote out what the requirements should be and then designed from there.
Well, development phase, I had to take a lot of input from the group. At first, we didn't know what we wanted to do. At first, it was going to be just a website you went in, and you could put in your own vocab words, and it would come out as a crossword, a word search, or we were going to have some math problems. You could just make custom math problems depending on what type of math problem. But it turned into what we decided was online based. So the teacher goes in and puts some vocab words and definitions, and then the student comes on, and the games are randomized every time. So we went away from the paper, we went all straight online. And so as the group was inputting all this information about how everything should turn out, I had to take everything they said and design this application in PHP, JavaScript, and Ajax, 3 languages I use. Okay, so, this is just the main flow diagram of it. These teachers go one way and insert the information and make classes, and students go the other way. It's actually the original one, so all the stars represent changes. An example, there's no longer print word search and crossword. They're random and they're just done on a computer. These are the databases. It's a little too technical. This was from a presentation in class, and this is the original database, and this is the new database. Some things would change, like the way I decided to store the hierarchy of the games. Because some games you have to beat it in order to get to the next game, or to get to the next game, and so on. So originally it was going to look like this, and then I just combined it, a couple tables into the new design. This further explains into my reasoning why I had to combine those 2 tables. I don't think I have enough time to go over this presentation. This is more technical. There's a lot of this is the hierarchy for the games. So in order, if you see this one, this is when you have to beat in order to get to the next one, just one forward. So if you get to say here, you beat C, or you beat programming, you go on to C, or you can go on to web programming on the same level. And as well, once you beat web programming, you go to PHP or JavaScript. So that's the way the hierarchy works. And then here's some of the code. For example, if you try to move this one up one location, this is not going to move it directly one up. It wants to keep all 3 of these together, so it has to know how to move it above. So some sliders put in there.
You said those represent the different levels over there?
This right here is the hierarchy. So this is the main level they start in. They have to be basics when they get to anything else. They have to be advanced when they get anything else. Once they do
why is C++ between C and web programming?
Well, you have to beat C in order to get C++. You can get to web programming after you beat programming basics. It's on the same level as C. So you can do either one of these.
Yeah, that was my point. Okay. So C++ actually is after.
It's after C. Web programming is on the same level as C. So you can go to C or you can solve it way.
Exactly. Okay.
The testing comes after coding. We have tested our web application by many browsers such as Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, and also we've been tested the web application, many operating systems such as Windows, Mac, and Linux. In the end, all of these browsers and operating systems are acceptable to run this web application.
Alright, so some of the troubleshooting that some people would come across would be on the student side or the teacher side. Like it was a little bit difficult thinking about it because you start looking at it one way. But these are some of the examples that we just threw together. Like the word search, we found that you can't just drag your mouse and go all the way across. You actually have to individually click each letter. And so, like, if somebody selects like the wrong letter, like, if they go too far past the word, like going the wrong way, then they'll have to deselect it manually. So that's some of the things that they would encounter. And teacher said same thing. These are the puzzles. Like he was talking about earlier, the hierarchy. Like so that would sample like, from a bigger file.
So one of our big parts was the documentation. So we had 5 major documents that we had to put together, and there are 5 of us, but we weren't each going to write the document because they were all disproportionately sized. But we really needed to explain all the different ways you could use our project because it was a pretty in-depth application. But it also helped us to stay on track because we laid out when we were going to do what and what our requirements were going to be. And it was good to build a practice because we could see these a lot for those expense jobs. So we did make the design goals, we stayed in the time restraints, and we ended up writing about 6,000 lines of code in about 80 man hours, including all of our work. So there's a breakdown between like how much each thing took, but it was a big project. So we learned that the integration of the documents is just as important as the code because we had everybody writing parts of the document and we had to put them together and make it flow, just like you have to put code together and make it all work together. So we also found out how important communication is. Like how we mentioned it, but it really was. There's 5 of us. We all live in different places, and we're all working, not working, busy with life. So we realized that we couldn't just rely on Google Docs or email. So we had 6 lines of communication going. Found out those were our big contributions that we drew. So if we were to continue this, we'd add some more games, make it more robust, so you couldn't, mistype something. It would just be a little smarter, and we'd make it more complete looking. It looks very good right now, I think, but we would make it look like a real website. Very fast.
Okay, and would you like to demo? Do you know the
Yeah, give us a demo.
yeah, I think Thaddeus knows the data that he set up for the live demo here. So.
Got the 7-year-old. That's why it says 7 or 5 to 17, 8 inches. A bit is hard.
I mean, it's, I use this website for, I'll actually go back and log out. I use this for my sociology class, so if I type in here, their access code, it'll ask me for my first and last name, because I'm going through the student side now. So if I went to the student side, you see, as I was demoing in class, we completed one of them ourselves. We also completed this one. We didn't reach the required score, so it's still red. So in class, we went through it. And this is an example of the maze game using my sociology terms from class. So the question shows up here, and it's a situation in which at least one parent or guardian is employed full-time, 35 or more weeks, 50 hours a week, 2 parents. Secure parental employment, ideal, or aging population are my 3 answers. So the answer is secure parental employment. So now my next question, norms requiring or encouraging people to choose a partner from the same social category as their own, right? Endogamy or ideal? Be endogamy. So this is just an example game. The point of this one is the path is random every time. One time I went through literally 95% of the square before I reached the finish. So it's completely random. Yeah.
This is a big.
And then there's also the hangman. See, with these, there's a lot of vocab words, and on the smaller resolution, it's a little hard to get the question and the answer on the same view, which is actually a problem I was having in class. But here we go. All right. Situation in which a producer dominates the market. All right. Maybe I think that's monopoly. Oh, I'm right. I didn't mean to be. Yeah. So if I start getting these wrong, I give it time to load. I'll start losing body parts.
And it tells you on the right side how many parts you have left before.
Okay, I got 2 lines left. Oh, good.
I don't see a 5-year-old playing with it.
No, it's all dependent. If an educator chose to put in content appropriate for that level, then it could be used by someone, by students that age.
So here's the teacher side on the test one that I set up with those computer vocab data sets you saw before. This is how easy it is to enter the information. So I have a basics vocab data set up. In sociology, I did it by chapters. So I have chapter 11 data set, 12, 13, 14. Here's the instructions at the top. Real simple. You just put the word in on the left. You put the definition in the middle. And on the right side, optionally, you can put a category. Right? You can make your own category. And those categories are used for Jeopardy categories. You can also set the value price. Any $100, 100, 300, 400, 500. Originally, you chose the specific dollar price and you had to choose a dollar price, but I thought that was way too tedious. So, updated it this way.
And if you notice, you only have, in order to create those 5 puzzles, you only have to fill out the data one time. If you only fill in data in the left column, then you can build a word search. And then you fill in the corresponding definition in order to create the next types, and then the category and the dollar value for Jeopardy. And you can create all 5 types from that one place.
These are the 5 games.
You could go you could go to college of it.
Yes.
Yeah, as I was saying, I use this in class during
Right.
my presentation for psychology.
It says 5 to 17.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's a little bit about what Charlene was talking about enhancing the aesthetics. You know, it would probably take something flash-based in order to keep kids really focused on it for, say, a class period. But I did have my sister, who's a science teacher, demo this, and she loved it. She said that there are other similar tools out there, but you either have to pay to become a member, or they're really hard to enter data into. And she likes that if she needs to work with 1 or 2 of the students on a remedial basis, that she doesn't have to just let the others run wild while waiting for her. She can tell them, log into the site, do this data, this piece of work, and she can tell how far they've gotten, what their score was. So
Okay.
they're counted up.
Time's up. I want to see the front end of that. Can I see the front end of that PHP?
The back end.
The code, yeah.
Let me pull up FTP road. What part would you like to see?
How you interface with that? I've already seen the DB. You did DB, right? Or back end? That's all what you did?
It's all PHP and JavaScript.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So it's PHP and JavaScript.
I guess I forgot about that. PHP.
This is my website. It's actually got several websites on it. But in here is the background code that all of them use. They all share, including this Whiz Kidz website. The same modularized functions. So here they are. The name of the function is by its the file name is the name of the module, and that's how it calls them. So there's one that makes a monthly calendar. There's ones that make pop-up messages come on the screen. There's one for converting and all different things. So it uses all this back code, and there's a lot of that.
Can I see one? Open them up.
You want to see one of those?
Yeah. Yeah, PHP.
All right. Well, let me.
Yeah.
Well, I need to copy it over first, and then tell.
CJS, JavaScript, okay.
So this one is Forms 1. If you saw on the website over here, if I go into the class, I have this form right here where I can choose word search, crossword Jeopardy, and it'll tell me what kind of ones I can make. And this automatically updates. So if I do word search, it puts all the ones I can make for word search and Jeopardy. And this is literally 4 lines of code, this form, because of this function, this module file that I wrote. And this is the file right here. Has all of these functions